Ladies and gentlemen, everybody, let's get ready for episode of Buck 72 of the Carrying the Culture Show. My name is Tamal. It's like Jamal, but with a T. Super,
Jamal like Jamal.
Wilder. Super excited about this one. We got one of our favorite guests that we've had. It's like your third time coming on. Always keeps it a stack. Our man, Carlton Fisk,
Yes, sir.
PLO style. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate you, man. Like, you know
I
what I'm saying?
appreciate you too, bro.
So, let's get into it. So, I got a lot to cover, and it's always interesting talking to you. But first, Joe, well, first of all, everybody, because we started a little late, but I want to give a big shout out to our official show sponsor, Diggable Tees, right here. They're our official show sponsor. They make the illest hip hop T-shirts on the planet. Rock with them, and we about to get back to it. So, yeah, I want to give you your flowers first, man, because like you're not talked about enough, and there's probably a lot of reasons for it. But like when I first heard you on Meth's album, that's when I first heard you. I'm like, yo, who is this dude? This dude is crazy. Like, and then, I heard a couple of things over the years, but I didn't really hear too much. But I'll say this, man. Everything I've heard from you, whether it's a feature, whether it's collab, you jumping on a verse or something, is flames, bro.
I
And like
appreciate that. I appreciate you.
I
Appreciate you.
fucks with you heavy, like heavy. So, and the thing is, but I'm gonna say this though, I wanted to, I wanted to hear some more. I've always wanted to hear more from you, more music. I've heard bits and pieces, and you've always been like the mystery dude to me. So like fill in the gaps, bro. From fill in some of these gaps from like '95 to because I would always be looking for shit, and I'm like, damn, all I can hear from this cat is this PLO shit or this Mr. Sandman shit, and there was things that came out here and there, but like, I don't know if we ever got a full project from you. Did we get a full joint from you? Have we got one?
Nah, like the most I put out was an EP. I put that out like when I came home, right? Like I came home in 2019, right, from a different situation, but I came home in 2019. I put out an EP in like 2020,
Okay.
right? And so it was like six records or whatever, like that or whatever. I did it independently, and I had got a little response from it or whatever the case may be. But if you talking about like basically like what I hear from you is like, yo, what happened to you? Like
Basically.
from 19, like what really happened? So all right, so I got like to say what really happened. I gotta go before 95. Like, all right, so at the time when Meth was doing his album, when he was doing To Cal, like it was like by the time I got involved, it was mostly done. Right. It was never like a plan for me to be on Meth's
Right.
album or anything like that. It was like I came in incidentally when RZA Basement flooded, right? RZA Basement had flooded, and all right, so Takal was originally Takal was actually Meth's second album. It's his second LP, right? But the original album that he did got flooded in RZA's Basement, along with I believe Inspector Deck's first project,
That's
right?
true. Yeah.
So what happened was I had just got out. I had came home like right when they was doing the Protect Your Neck video. So we talking like 93, like early 93 or whatever. So I had just came home and I seen what was going on. Like, what happened before, that's another story. But so anyway, so I came home and Meth was telling me what was going on or whatever. So, I ain't know shit about the music business and that shit. But anyway, so by the time Meth came and approached me, I already had warrants already, right? And I was like a person, like I had to duck a lot of shit because I had a lot of drama with people in different areas and neighborhoods and shit like that. So I had to move like kind of calmly. So, long story short, it started with me just going to the studio with Meth while he was doing the album.
Right. Right.
And then Meth like used to be consistently late or whatever, so I would wind up being at the studio before him because I had so much drama on Staten Island to be in Manhattan, to be in Chunking Studios where some of the greats had recorded and me seeing all that shit on the wall and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? It was a getaway for me. Nobody knew where I was. But Meth knew I was on the run though. You know what I'm saying? He knew I had warrants and shit like that, but this was my friend and shit. So he was like, yo, just come hold me down, right? And so you could stay off of Staten Island. And he just didn't want to see me in jail and shit. That's basically that. So in the midst of that, me being in the studio by myself with the engineer, I started writing or whatever, and he caught my pad. That's how the first song I did was PLO style. So anyway, all right, so I did the songs with him for that wound up onto Cal, but I was on the run. So I did the first original shows before the album dropped, and the whole Def Jam rollout and all of that shit or whatever. And then, like a few months after the album officially dropped, I got arrested for. Not only did they arrest me for what I warranted for, but I had a new case also on top of that. So from 95 to 2000, I was incarcerated, right? Boom. So I came home in 2000. And then I came home in 2000 and I was getting my life together. You know what I'm saying? I was at that time it was like my understanding of what credit was and you know what I'm saying? And I came home to a good amount of money at the time, but without the know-how really use the money in my favor. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no faulty contracts. It wasn't no me. Actually, for me not having no paperwork signed or nothing, Meth made sure that I always got my money.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like for the time that I spent locked up, and at that time in '95, like all the labels was courting me just because I was on Meth's album. So I had all these offers and stuff like that or whatever, but I went to jail. But Meth made sure I had everything I needed. You know, like, like people scream that, yo, this nigga's a real nigga and this nigga, but I could say that, yo, for all the times that I was in prison, whether he was supposed to do something for me or not, or whatever, I can't make that call. All I can say is that he was always there for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, ridiculously. Like, you know what I'm saying? So from 95 to 2000, basically, you know what I'm saying? I was incarcerated. I came home in 2000 and I was home for 90 days. And I got locked back up. And then I came home again. And then, like I just kept, and I just kept getting caught up in these different situations, and it's like where certain situations where you know better, right? And
Yeah.
then you maneuvering, right? Because at the end of the day, I always been my own person. Like Meth is somebody I knew since I was 15. Like I never said that. I never thought that his success was my success in a sense. Like I never felt entitled to nothing that Meth had. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't feel that way. But so hence why I always went off on my own and you know what I'm saying? And got in the shit that was independent. That was just me. You know what I mean? So I came home. I wound up going back to jail 3 different times from 2000 and say 2002. And then another situation happened, changed my life. I wound up getting into a situation with somebody I knew since I was young. I had like an intimate relationship, and we wound up getting into it where we wound up knife fighting in the street. And I wound up getting cut from my ear all the way to my jaw, from here, from the back of my ear all the way to there. And I was doing good at the time. I wasn't into nothing, and I wound up going to jail for circumstances after that. You know what I'm saying? That led to that. But anyway, I got into something in the street and it went further and I wound up going back to jail. And it was like, yo, that's basically that. You know what I'm saying? And coming out after that, it just was a bunch of series of stop and goes for me.
Yeah.
Right. And based off of that, right, me not being a person consistently being home, I was not like I wasn't something I wasn't a product or a business that somebody was willing to invest in.
Right.
you know, at that time, because you don't never know what's going on with me. You never know where I'm gonna be or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So what I had was the love that my brothers had for me. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know what I mean? So it was I lived I lived like that for a long time or whatever, whatever. And
Yeah,
you know what I'm
no,
saying?
that clear.
Unfortunately, like music wasn't always my priority. And maybe it should have been, you know what I'm saying, at certain points in my life, but it wasn't.
Right.
Just being honest. That's you know.
Yeah, nah, you always keep it a buck, man. And I figured there was some reasons. I mean, I knew you had been locked up, whatever here and there, but that affects things, man. And you come home, and you know what I'm saying, and it's, like things have moved already, like in a certain direction. You know what I'm saying, right? So let me ask you a question, then, man. It's straightforward, man to man. How are you now? How are you doing now, man? Looking back, what I'm saying, like just in terms of like where are you at now as an older brother? You know what I'm saying, like how you doing?
All right, so we're gonna start off with this, right? I've been home for 7 years right now, right? I've been home for 7 years, right? It's the longest I ever been home. But fortunately for me, it was an organization, right, where I live at, of a bunch of people that I knew already, right, that were doing similar things that I did in my neighborhood, but they were more together with it. So I wound up getting a job, like, right, my first job I ever had in my life, for real, besides the music and getting paid for doing music. So I worked for a nonprofit organization called True to Life, right? And right, we deal with gun violence in the neighborhoods of, Staten Island, but there are CMS sites all over New York City and New York State, and in other states or whatever, whatever. So the goal is to talk to these kids and let them know that, right, the problems and issues that y'all have, that y'all think that y'all need to get violent over, a lot of times are not worth killing or dying over, right?
Right.
There are other ways that you can actually deal with issues or whatever. And like being in the communities that we come up in, a lot of stuff is sociological, economical, and stuff like that. So it's a lot of contributing factors to why these kids are out here doing what they doing right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Like nobody's listening to them, for real, right? So speaking as a person that I've been through a lot of shit. Nobody been through everything, but I've been through a lot of shit,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I understand. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I've been on projects, and as far as music go, that that did things and people, but overall I did a lot of shit in the neighborhoods. I did a lot of fucked up shit. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I look at the kids now and I be like, damn, not that they lost or nothing like that, but that damn, I was them, and
Right.
I have, and either I didn't listen to or I didn't have nobody in my corner to not just talk like, yo, that's Carl Fish. Yo, that's the OG from he did boom boom boom. Yo, he always saying whatever, whatever, and whatever. But nah, but we actually have services. We try to, what I'm saying, get them situations and change their environments and shit, and get them to think differently about all this shit. Cause we all basically together and don't know it, because the haves is doing business on the have-nots, right?
Yep.
And all that really matters is that we know that it's bigger than any little street beef or whatever. So basically, my organization, we talk to these kids in every capacity, and you know what I'm saying, we do our best to get them to understand that each other is not the enemy, it's a bigger enemy, and you need to be prepared for that, and that's that.
Yo, that's great, man. Congratulations for being home for so long. Like you said, you know what I'm saying? For long, that's real shit because it's easy to get caught back in the cycle. And I looked into when I saw the email address you gave me, I looked it up. I was like, oh, I wonder if he works here. And you know what I'm saying? And I looked it up, and that's great that you giving back, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I know when I've worked with kids, and been able to share from experience, like, yo, I was out there doing stupid shit. Trust, it doesn't end well. You know, it's and I understand. I hear your pain. Like they resonate with that shit, man. So I'm thank you, man, because we need it. You know what I'm saying? So salute to you. You know?
Yeah, nah, but really, not for nothing. It's doing something for me. You understand what I'm saying? It's like while I'm, like I'm trying to organize certain things, and I got my brother over here. Like I got my brother right here, hands on, right here, hands on. You know what I mean? We in the meth lab or whatever.
That's right.
Actually, he's one of my coworkers. We work there together, right? And it's like, yo, at the end of the day, we get a lot of stuff from the hurt. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to feel responsible for certain, you know what I'm saying, the way certain things are projected or whatever, whatever. But at the end of the day, you don't know. Apologies is what action, not words.
Right,
You
right,
know what I'm saying? So you gotta be in it, you know what I'm saying, and you gotta be active. So it's like this what I do. Cause I know that a lot of times all you gotta do is listen to these kids. You know what I'm saying? Or be somebody that they feel like they could tell you what's really going on with them. You
right,
know what I'm saying? And you ain't judging them, and you actually giving them the benefit of your wisdom because you want them to make it through. You know what I'm saying? You want
right,
them to like, yo, it ain't your fault. Like, yo, or you can do better. Like, yo, push yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like we ain't babying nobody. You
right.
know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we try to provide, and we do provide as many. So matter of fact, we got a sneaker giveaway with us next weekend on the 28th, next Saturday. We got a sneaker event that we do every year. And we give away at 600 plus pairs of sneakers, and we do like we do as much as we can on Staten Island, given whatever's going on or whatever. You know what I mean? And when I'm not doing music business and stuff like that, this is what I do, and it does something for me. It helps me to heal because I experienced a lot of trauma in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right,
So just being able to be accessible and to be able to see a situation before it happens and be able to interject and make sure the best possible outcome comes, why not?
yeah, man. That's real dope, man. And you made a good point about the trauma, yo, because a lot of times people don't understand sometimes the trauma that comes from being in the streets. Like I didn't get locked up or nothing, but I ran around enough to where it fucked me up a little bit. And the thing was, so I'm moving back home to Connecticut next year, right? So like I was
And
trying
it's dangerous out there.
I was trying to get my record cleared up, right? And so I had to get it, call the FBI or whatever, get my cases. So I'm looking at the docket number, I'm looking at the police report, and that shit is fucking me up because it's like 20, 25 years later now, you know what I mean? And
Like,
I'm like,
who is that person?
yeah,
Who's
right, right, right. So now that's a good point you spoke on, man, because that shit is really affects. I can't even drive by certain places sometimes, man. You know what I'm saying?
on?
So I appreciate you sharing that because that's real shit. Um, but no, that's dope, man. Working with them babies, man, because without them, I mean that's the future. So I'm
What we gonna do? What we gonna do if they not right?
right,
And all they want you to do really is listen to them, man.
right,
That's the basics, man. It's like these kids don't feel like they being heard. And when how you felt when you was a kid, when you felt like when you was at a point in your life where you felt like you was grown based on your circumstances.
right, right,
These people not listening to you.
right, right,
They not seeing it like that. When you got to take care of yourself young, because maybe your mother might be doing whatever, or you know what I'm saying, or you don't even know your pops, or your pops ain't he in and out or
yeah,
whatever. But
yeah.
like, what the fuck you supposed to do?
Yeah, yeah. No, that's a good point, man. You know, and sometimes they just need somebody to listen just to get vent to, you know what I mean? So
But they gotta trust you to be able to vent, because look how wicked society is.
right, right,
Look how people, something happened in the street. before a person to help you, they'll pull out their phone to record it first,
Facts.
right? A person can see that you totally being violated, whether it's by police or anybody, right? And before they say, yo, that person is being violated, they gonna pull out their phone and record the shit and spin the event to that fit their own narrative.
Right. You're gonna be on Instagram before you get to the hospital, nigga. Like, you know
This is
what I'm
what
saying?
I'm saying. Like,
Real talk. Real talk. That should be
you know what I mean?
posted.
Everything right now, everything is entertainment. It don't matter. It ain't no basement
Right.
to how low people will go for shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got motherfuckers with pages just dedicated to women getting punched in their face.
Yeah. I mean, they got it's the shit that's on there, man, is wild. And I'm like, damn, anything
You got
for the gram.
Yeah, you got and kids is impressionable. They always been at certain ages, but they got access to this shit, man. This shit is warping their mind,
Yeah, yeah. No, that's
and
big facts.
they got respect for the elders. Why should they?
Right. Because
When
they
they don't, when all they see out the elders is corny shit, YN type of shit, and all of that.
Yep. Yep. That's big facts, yo. Um, I want to jump back in a little bit into the music. I don't know if I asked you the first time you was on. How'd you get your name, man? Because that's a famous baseball player.
Yeah,
And
no, like people ask me that shit, yo. Let me tell you something. That was the first shit that came to my mind, right? Real shit. Like I got arrested under that name, right? And then like no bullshit. Like I was known in the hood. Like I couldn't walk down the street. Like no police would ride down the street and not stop and say something or look like they getting ready to jump out on me or whatever, whatever. I lived that type of life. So one time, oh, matter of fact, it did so long ago. I was listening to "Fuck the Police" by NWA, right? Right. And I was vocal, like I was liking this shit. This is back. This is back, like fucking when this shit really first came out. And police was patrolling my neighborhood, and they stopped, like, yo, stop singing that record. And I'm like, what? Get the fuck out of here. Fuck up. But anyway, I want to get locked up behind that, right? They smashed my Walkman and all that shit. But when they locked me up, they was like, yo, what's your name? I said, Carlton Fish. It was I don't even know why the shit was the first shit that came to my head, right? But I knew that they wouldn't believe me, right? I said like a most outrageous name I could think of because I know you know this is not my name. So fuck you. Book me under this name. So they like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, that's my name. They locked me up. I ain't have no ID, right? So they booked me under that name. So when I got out of jail for that and they see me in the hood, the police always called me that. Yo,
oh shit.
Carlton Fish, yo, boom, boom. And they called on. After a while, I just started telling people that was my name. Right?
That's crazy.
Because and I was already Carlton Fish before rap. That was already my name in the hood.
Right,
It
right.
was an alias. You know what I'm saying? I was one of them niggas from beginning when niggas had, or you know, like everybody got these alias to Wu. Everybody Wu game. Like I was one of the niggas that already had an alias
Like before that shit. Yeah.
before all of that. But you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was my alias. The police knew me as that name in the street.
That's crazy.
So people started calling me that. Even people that knew me by my real name, you know, what I'm saying, started calling me that after a while because you know I did a lot of shit in my neighborhood.
That's crazy. Yo, so I know like, you know, Wu is your family, that's your brothers and stuff like that. You've known them for a long time and you grew up with them, so it's different. But as like for me as an outsider or whatever, I'm just curious, like, was there a time when for you being around everybody where you were like, damn, this shit is about to blow. Like like when you saw the whole Wu movement. I mean, this shit is worldwide, man. Like, was there like a moment for you where you saw like kind of on the outside looking in, like, damn, this is about to be some crazy shit?
All right, first, let me say this, right? I knew when I was 15 years old, right, that meth was going to be somebody, right? As far as music, right? I knew ever since I met him and he first ever rhymed for me and all of that. I, but I didn't know he was going to be who he is, right? As a kid, we 15. I met Meth when I was 15, right? I'm like, you don't can't imagine no shit like that,
Right,
right?
right, right.
Your imagination is vast. And that was known in my neighborhood, right? That like even Cap, because I knew Kappa since I was 10. So niggas knew already, or you knew already that, yo, if this person got a record deal or this person got a shot, you know they would make it. You know what I'm saying? We grew up with that. Like, yo, listen, Cap to get a deal. And then as everybody else came into their own, like I was a person, like I was like, I I was home when niggas wasn't together. And when it wasn't no Wu-Tang. I got locked up. I came home. I came home the day they was shooting Protect Your Neck. I came home the day I got out of jail. I came home to the Protect Your Neck video.
Oh
2
shit.
weeks later, I was on the run. I ran into a little kid that had a tape that Meth. It had 2 songs that Meth had on. That's how I got on this album. Incidentally, I was coming. I was getting out. I was coming through the back of the building. I saw a little kid. Meth incidentally was dealing with the little kid's aunt, and he gave the little kid the tape and kicked him out the crib. So he in the back of the building playing the tape. I'm walking through the back of the building. I hear the tape. I'm like, yo, I never heard that. Yo, where you get that tape from? Yo, Meth gave it to me. He upstairs. Yo, give me that tape. He like, nah, Meth said, this really how I started going to the studio with Meth. I took the tape from the little kid and told him, tell Meth come get it from my house. An hour later, Meth was at my door. Came in like I'm like, yo, you really want the tape like that? He like, yo, no, this is the only copy. This is for my album. I'm like, your album? He like, yeah, my album. I'm like, yo, but you signed to this shit, right? The Wu-Tang shit. This is after Protecting that came out. He's like, yeah, but there's contract. The contracts say that we could all get our own solo deals. I'm like, I'm not even the music head, and I knew that nobody did that before.
Right.
Nigga, Smokey Robinson had to leave the Miracles. Michael Jackson had to leave the Jackson 5 to go dolo. Diana Ross had to leave the Supremes. It ain't no shit like that.
Right, 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 right.
Lionel Richie had to leave the Commodores to go solo. That was something that was unheard of. But
Yeah.
when he told me that, so I said, yo, so you got your own record deal. He like, yeah. I gave him the tape. He like, yo, what you doing? You know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? He
Right.
like, that was the conversation that day. Coming to the studio. And that's how going to the studio, being there. Incidentally, I wrote PLO style when Lauryn Hill was in the studio with us.
What? You ain't tell me that last time. Or what? This was that Chunking?
Because I'm not a nigga that say everything.
This was that Chunking?
This is that chunking. Look, right? The day we did PLO style, I came to the studio before Meth. Lauryn Hill was in the studio already. She was going to school and she was doing her homework, right? In the studio, right? I remember, bro. Anyway, I came in by myself. It was the engineer and it was her. Meth and her had did a song together. It ain't have no hook. They both did verses on a record, right? And I was there. But it was her in the studio, no handlers, no nothing. It was nobody there but her and the engineer. I came in, I introduced myself. She was doing her homework. Me and her had a whole conversation, all of like, but I didn't want to bother her. And this was before the score. The score wasn't out.
Right.
This was blunted on reality, Lauryn Hill. Right?
Okay.
But I respected her craft, so and I respected her because she was there for my brother. You know what I'm saying? So we talked, and I didn't want to feel like a goofy. So while she was sitting there doing her homework at the same time, right into the music, right? I sat there and just started writing because I ain't want to just be sitting in there looking like, you know what I mean?
Right, right.
Not real. And I ain't want to make her uncomfortable, right?
Right, right, right.
So I wrote my verse the PLO style on the pad. Meth came now. I wrote the verse already. Meth came. I'm sitting there because I'm trying to be busy in front of small hell, my nigga. Like, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? So Meth came in, they talking, boom, boom, boom. They working. Meth had his verse, they working it out, boom. And they did the song. So now while I'm sitting there, still doing fucking with the pad, Meth take the pad. And he like, yo, what's this? I'm like, yo, give me my shit back, bro. Give my right. So he looking, he read my verse. He like, yo, this shit dope. I'm like, all right, whatever. He like, yo, give me a few minutes, whatever, whatever. He filled in his verse or whatever. He like, yo, come on, go in the booth. Nigga, I had never been in the booth before in my life.
yo, that always bugs me out. I mean, I 'cause you told me that the first time, but I always wanted some more detail on it. But like, okay, so it seems like you were born to do this though. So all right, after that, like over the years, have you like do you even like I'm just asking genuinely, like, do you even like it seems like it comes natural. So what I'm saying is, do you like write stuff? You got like you were in and out of jail and stuff, like, or were you just like, I'm ready to rock, instant bars coming out, like
Nah, yo, I never wrote one rhyme in jail. All the years I did, I never wrote rhymes in jail. I didn't do none of that shit in jail. I wasn't one of them niggas you caught in the yard freestyling with niggas and all that shit. I was jailing. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, for real. Like I'm I'm trying to get the bag in jail. I'm trying to get money. I'm trying to do all the shit. I'm trying to basically live my life in jail like I was living in the street.
right,
You feel me? I'm like, yo, I never wrote a rhyme in jail, never. So every time I came home, and it's like that was another thing why nobody really wanted that. But I understand that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really wanted to invest in me because they couldn't count on me.
right.
First of all, nobody could tell me what to do. That's number one. But that's a little narcissistic in a sense. Like it ain't about a nigga telling me what to do or what I'm gonna go for. It's just that, yo, it's like, yo, I always for good, bad, and difference, I always wanted to do it my way and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. That's
To
what's
my
up.
detriment, but I take accountability for that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever should have went on with me or didn't go on with me, or if if people that a fan of my music or know me or whatever, and they felt like yo, nigga could have did this or he could have did that or whatever, whatever. Yeah, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But you're not living my life. You know what I'm saying? And again, like I was going through what I was going through, trying to pursue getting it on my own terms.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and I paid for all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And through proxy, my son paid my paid as well. Being young and me being now in his life, but I was an in and out person. You know what I'm saying? So like, I wasn't no freaky, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't always around. I wasn't person wasn't able to count on me in that sense.
right, right.
And that's just me taking accountability for
Yeah,
me,
I
for the
mean,
who I was. You
right,
know,
right. So like, what's your outlook on the music now? As like, I mean, is it like just a hobby? I mean, you jump in and right out. Like the NUT project, that lockout shit is crazy, son. Like, you be doing like, I'll hear like a banger from you, and then like, so like, what's your relationship with the music right as today?
all right, yo, you know something? Like my relationship with music is like a relationship with a female. It's a love hate relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's like put it this way, right? Like anytime one of my brothers is doing a project, whether it's Ray, you know what I'm saying, whether it's Deck, whether it's Meth or whatever, I'm always available for that. You know what I'm saying? But music, like again, music wasn't, like in the past, music wasn't my first priority because I got my money differently.
Right.
It wasn't a priority. It wasn't a thing like, and at the same time, that was my man shit. That's what they did. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like it was mad shit I turned down. Like, um, situations and shit like that, just based on the fact that I hadn't talked to my man based on it, or talked to the family. So it was certain shit I just shut down off the rip. Like, yo, I ain't talking to you. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't my main thing. You know what I'm saying? I was doing other shits. But now, like, so with that being said and me being gone, I didn't really know that so many people fucked with me. You know, like I wasn't one of the, I didn't understand that because when Meth album dropped shortly after that, I was locked up. And then the from 95 to 2000, those years were what it was. A lot of acts came out, a lot of groups came out in the time period where I would have came out, but I was in prison. You know what I'm saying? But overall, it's like nowadays I move around since I've been home so long and I travel around and shit like that and do a lot of different shit. I've run into so many different people like, yo, you look mad familiar. Or and now, you know, I see now like, yo, people actually really fucked with me. Not just based on the fact that I was on Meth's album, but that was the attraction. You know what I'm saying? But when people listen to, you know, the limited things that I did, they identified with it. So it's like that's what kept me afloat, really. You know what I mean?
Right. It's almost kind of cool, man. Like in some ways, because the limited shit makes it like it's more mysterious in some ways, yo. I've been waiting for a full project from you for 30 something years. Like I'm like, yo, like
Right? Yo, and that, but yo, you know what I'm saying? I get it because I've been getting that a lot from people, especially because they be seeing little shit that I do. You know, Ray came out with his album,
yeah,
and they's like, yo, he still be moving around, but it's like, yo, again, like I said, when my brothers do a project and they know I'm around, they gonna call me. You know what I'm saying? And I got some other shit that niggas that didn't even come out yet, like Inspect the Deck projects. But overall, you know what I'm saying? I got a project coming out. I got a couple of projects. I got 2 albums done already, you know,
word.
for the most part. And now, like, with me dealing with so many different situations, so now I'm just looking at, like, yo, what's the best way for me to do this, stay independent, you know what I'm saying? Not owe nobody nothing. And
Yeah.
so, so yeah. Yeah, so this year too, this year especially is gonna probably be the most music a person get from me.
Dope, yo, because we need it. I want it, man.
Pause. So
I've been waiting. So word.
I'm definitely gonna have a full length project out this year and the follow up to it.
Bet.
That's
Bet.
what that for right there. You know what I mean?
Bet.
I got the usual suspects. It's like anybody you ever hear me on a project. You know what I'm saying? Anybody you ever heard me do a song with. You know what I'm saying? I already got a song with collectively in the archives already.
On your joint, yeah. Like the
Yeah.
you I've noticed that there's a dope chemistry with Street Life. There's dope chemistry with Deck, and then you be on a bunch of meth joints. So I can't wait, man. I'm now I got something to look forward to. I'm glad we about to have some shit out. This like a full
It's like, yo, we gotta stay more in contact with each other too. Cause it's like, yo, I be, you know, I always be tuning into what you be doing and shit like that. Even when I don't say nothing, it's like, yo, the type of comment, the type of shit niggas be coming at you with me.
you seeing that wild shit, huh? You
And
see,
just for you actually giving your opinion. But I'm like, yo, bro, you hip hop. I don't care where you from. You hip hop. Bro, I seen you. I seen you. I seen you. You know what I'm saying? Yo, oh,
where's Carlo? Yeah,
yeah, I seen you. I know. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
I know, like, yo, like, this platform you got is, like, true to who you are and shit. You You know what I'm saying? Instead of the coaches, it's like, yo, because you point out good shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. And it's like, yo, you stay authentic to who you is, and it's like, yo, and I know you don't play no disrespect. Like niggas don't, and get right Adam get right to the issue or whatever, whatever. And you qualified to speak on certain shit because people forget that we fans first.
Right, right,
Even me. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? If you love music, you a fan first because you had to hear somebody first to even feel like you love what you hearing.
right, right, right.
And
Nah,
you hear something. Something had to resonate with you. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right. No, I appreciate you, brother, but we try to just be authentic, man. I'm the same dude on the camera, off the camera. I just, you know what I'm saying? And we came up where you spoke on shit. If it was corny, you spoke on it. If it was dope, you gave love, you know, show love, you know what I'm saying?
And
So
keep shooting at these young people with none of that. But the fact of the matter, and this is a fact, right? A lot of y'all good writers, y'all make good melodies and all of that. But the difference between this generation and the generation that we come from was that if we decided to step into a certain art, we stepped into it wanting to be our own official self.
right,
So when all the majority of these songs, every song on the radio got the same BPMs and the same tempo, and everybody's rhyming the same, and they started something. No disrespect to the people that do it, and that might even be what people want to hear in the current term. But let me tell you something. I don't care how much you sell. Nothing will ever be classical music, right? If you not making a record or something, and we all that make music strive to do these things when we making a song. I want to make a record that you play 30 years from now,
right, right. That's what it is. Oh,
right?
where you at? Yeah.
So, so the fact, so the fact that you could churn out records every month and churn out all these records, but the value in it is always being played. Those are the basics when you're in the music business. You want to create something that lasts, right? And so you can get paid in the present and your family can get paid in the future. But most of this music, we call it recyclable music because it all sounds the same. So
Right.
artist, the artist is not really getting in touch with who you are as a consumer.
Facts.
People
Facts.
people like me, like the older people, right? People that have all these experiences and that still do music. That's why it can still turn a dollar because people like to hear the things that make them comfortable. And if it's new, when they hear it, it got to remind them of something that made them feel comfortable. That's what make them want to purchase it.
Right. Right. Right.
So the old timers is winning in this era in the sense as long as they on point with the way the internet and social media works and now AI and all this shit or whatever, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's different from like when dudes was in the game early in the '90s and the people that were older in the game. You know what I'm saying? You exclude like your LL Cool J's, but your Cool Mo D's, your KRS Ones and shit like that. It just started to shift and all of that. You know what I'm saying? The brothers that could do more than one thing. You know what I'm saying? Move on. You know what I'm saying? But you can't take away who these people were or who they are. They still, who they are. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, but they music speak for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Look at Raw Bass.
Wow, base. Word.
Right? When Raw Bass was out originally, when It Takes Two came out, bro was like Cozy Rap and these dudes wasn't looking at him like it was a serious artist, like a serious lyricist, right? He had a party record. But bro, you can't tell me Raw Bass ain't make so much money. Like they still playing that shit.
Yo, that's an all-time banger. I don't give a fuck what nobody say.
Listen, that came out in the 80s, right?
89,
Right?
88,
Shit.
89. Yep.
Right. But it was out way before that. We ain't talking about when it was out for mass consumption, right? How long, like, you a historian. How long was Lottie Dottie out
Right.
before Slick Rick album?
Right. Right.
How long that shit was circulating in the street? How many years?
That was at least a couple years, yo. At least a couple years.
But we talking about shit that play right now, right? A lot of the music, not all of it, but a lot of the music that's being made now, you're not gonna hear 30, 40 years. And they might not even give a fuck as long as they getting the money now. And I
That's the thing, though. They
and
some of
that,
them don't give a fuck.
that- I get that too because a lot of these kids coming from nothing,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So you can't blame them for that. And you can't blame them for coming into all this money without no knowledge and experience and all of that shit. You
Right.
got to blame who came before them.
Facts. No, it's true though. Hey, I got a question for you about the creative process. So, like, if you for the projects that you got coming out, like, how did you, how did, what's your creative process? Do you sit down and just write whatever comes to you? Do you sit? Do you have a theme or outlook on, like, how do you sit down and write bars? Because it seems like you just write and boom, hit, just making hits. But like, how's it all come out for you?
All right, this is what it is, right? I never run out of things to write, right? I don't get what you call that shit
Writer's block.
get writer's block, right? You know, because everything I rhyme about and I write about is either something I really done, something that happened to me, or something I was right there and witnessed, right? So all I really do is rehash a story that I told somebody when I was talking to them, right? So it's like, yeah, I ain't gonna hold you, right? Funny shit, and I don't want to put him on the spot, and I ain't trying to put him on the spot. But I was in the studio one time with Nature, right? But I wasn't there with Nature, right? Nature was in the studio with some other brothers, and I came there to do a verse for a song that I did a hook for, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we had to produce a crib or whatever, and I'm there. So Nature's writing to a song that he's doing with the same people I'm there for. So I'm there, me, JoJo was with me too, right? So we smoking, we drinking, they working, they writing or whatever. I'm being a little too loud and shit. So Nathan tapped me and he asked me could I tone it down, right? So I was like, yo, you got it, right? I was like, you got it. I continue to do what I was doing, whatever, whatever. All right. He finished writing, they did the song. Now they like, yo, Carlo, you ready? Right? I wasn't writing anything. I was just there, smoking, drinking, talking. So I said, play the beat, right? So they played the beat. I let the beat play for like 8 bars. And I said, yo, I'm going in, right? I went in, 2 takes. I did the verse, ad libs, everything. I came out the booth, sat down next to Nature. And I never met him before, nothing. Yo, he tapped me, real shit, and said, yo, how you do that?
Man,
Right?
I'm wondering the same shit.
Nah, this is what I told him. I said, yo, really? And I wasn't being funny, but I was like, yo, bro, I'm a professional. I come here prepared already, so I don't gotta get ready. And that's what I told him. You know what I'm saying? I said, yo, I knew I was coming here, so I came prepared. So it didn't matter what was going on, I'ma do what I'ma do. You know what I'm saying? Well, and it was like, yo, but again, I wasn't home for Nature's career. I wasn't home for like all of this happened between 95 and 2000. When I was home, there was no Little Kim, there was no Junior Mafia yet, right? There was no Little Kim, there was no Junior Mafia. It was no Hell on Earth album. It was no CNN. It was no, like, I could name bad shit. You know what I'm saying? That when I was home, that these artists had not even been signed. Like, matter of fact, when I was home, Foxy Brown just got signed to Def Jam.
Okay, yeah.
And
Yeah.
her brother was on tour with us. Gavin, he was on tour with us. He was on the road with Sweet Tea from Queens. She was calling herself Sugar at the time.
Oh,
You know?
word.
Yeah.
Wow.
But she was on 4321 already. Is that it? No, it's not 4321. The shit with Prodigy and all of them. She was on that song already with Fat Joe and all of them. And then she got signed. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I was home when that was going on. Junior Mafia album didn't come out. It was mad albums. Look, bro, I got locked up in the beginning of '95, right? Come on 2000.
Yeah.
Just everybody, Cash Money,
Yeah. That window was
all
crazy.
all of that shit, like the Jay-Z tour, the big shit, the Rock the Mic shit, all of that. I was locked up for all of that shit
Yeah,
passed.
even the Helter Skelter shit came out like you wasn't
All
the
that shit, every artist, all of that shit passed me by. All
yeah,
of that shit
yeah, yeah.
passed me by. It's up north. Doing I think five.
Yo, so what like so you say you can write about anything. I mean, you never run out of shit to write about. Like what drives you more though? Is it the beat or is it like what's coming out of your brain? Like do you write to the beat or like or
Now it's always the music for me, right? It's like when it's like it depends on the production. Like when I hear something, I might listen to the same beat like maybe 50 times, 100 times, and don't. All I'm really doing is thinking of a situation, like how the beat made me feel. Like if it's a beat with slower BPMs or whatever, I think like in the like 74, 75 range, in between 70 something and 80, it'll remind me of something like something more painful. So depending on the melody of the beat, it determines what I actually say about it. Because also, because on my experiences and shit like that, I listen to it, I'll be like, damn, how do I tell this story in rhyme form?
right,
Right? Because the shit that happens to you in life don't happen in rhyme form or in song form. So you gotta interpret the experience you had, and then how do I tell somebody else this happened to me?
right. Now, your stories, your rhymes, man, it's like gritty street shit, but like I it's so specific, some of the stuff you're mentioning. I'm like, damn, this is factual as hell. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But genius taught me to be specific.
Mm,
So he taught me to be specific, right? Like I was a person that wrote rhymes and didn't know I could rap for real. I was like, for the brother. Look, ironically, the same brothers that I do records with when we was kids would come and get me on the 1-on-1 to go write. So like Ray was like my first rhyming partner. Raekwon, we used to write routines together, right? But I never looked at rap as something for me to do. You know, I don't, and I can't tell you why. Like, all I can say is that my experiences in life had me focused in a certain way where I was closed minded to other shit
mm,
because I didn't believe in other shit.
right,
I believed in what I was doing that was taking care of me,
right,
and you know, so I wouldn't allow my mom to, you know what I mean, and so I didn't know I actually had the talent that lived under me. He lived in 6D, I lived in 5D. We were so young, Deck used to take his mother weed clips. They still had lipstick on them and shit like that. He used to come downstairs. We used to re-roll them and shit like that. We was that young. We was kids. We was that young. But I used to write with him also. But I used to always be up in Kappa House. And
right.
he was like, shit, when we was kids, he was already like the big homie of rapping. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what it was. Like, before I even thought about even rapping, I already heard Kappa. I heard meth. I heard Ray. You know what I'm saying? When we was just getting into the shit. But I never thought, I never even considered that I had the talent for that shit.
Yeah.
It's just something I did when I was with my niggas.
Right. And I'm glad. Well, I'm glad you figured it out. I mean, because it would have, because it's. I feel like you're one of the unsung heroes in the whole shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
I never wanted, like, it's ironic because I never wanted no publicity. I did real shit to people in the world. Like, never wanted people, like, like, certain videos, like, Bring the Pain, the video, right? I'm in the video, but you gotta look for me. I wasn't trying to, I'm not in, I'm in the back of the video. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted it. You know, shit like that. Like, I've been in these videos, I'm because, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never wanted nobody to pinpoint me like, yo, oh, shit, yo, that's that. You know? And it was even ignorant in a sense because I missed a lot of opportunities based on I didn't want to get my picture taken.
Right. But you were moving different though, so I get it. I mean, at the time, you know what I'm saying? Like even now, yo. I mean, I did the Google search and shit. I mean, it's 2026. I saw like 3 pictures online. I'm like, damn, like it's like even the pictures I saw, I'm like, wait, he ain't even in this shit. I'm like, oh, there he is. I was like, on some I Spy shit. I'm like, he's in the way in the fucking back. You know what I'm saying?
So that's how I always preferred it. I was looking to my detriment. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, that's what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, you know what I'm saying? I got my shit together and shit like that. And now I know, since I've been home for this time, you know what I'm saying, and it's been consistent, now I know that, like, yo, nah, people want an album from you, bro, for real. Like, everywhere I go, I wanted it, yo, bro, I'm one of the people in different places, and they be like, yo, I know you from somewhere, like, yo, or yo, I heard your voice, like, nah, it's your voice, like, boom, and yo, you know what I mean? So it's like that kind of led, led to more me saying, yo, you know what? Fuck it, let me do this. You know what I'm saying? It ain't, if it was all about the money for me, not everybody want money, bro. But as far as music, it was the shit I enjoyed. I was happy. I was happy with the fact that my niggas did shit that the world loved and that they called me to do shit with them.
Fire.
And I'm a fan of music, right? So as a fan, but even though, with the other shit, these are my brothers I grew up with and shit, and I knew, and these is not just, oh, I knew Raekwon, he lived across the street from me, and you know what I'm saying? Like, no, we've been fucking with each other ever since we met, right? So I'm like, for me, always was like, niggas love these niggas, and my brothers call me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I was cool with that, being a nigga that was completely comfortable with being in the back.
Being in the back. Yeah. That's real talk though. I mean, that's humility shit.
I didn't feel entitled or none of that. And mind you, yo, bro, I done did some shit and fucked up a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Where this nigga Meth had, like, where the nigga Meth was like, yo, I'm gonna pay it. Like, yo, I done did fucked up, like, I done crashed certain cars that was money. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I done did shit in certain ways. I embarrassed myself doing shit like that when I was supposed, you know what I mean? Like, and shit like that or whatever. But he never held that shit against me. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, this is a man that really had to pull his checkbook out. Like, yo, you did what? It's gonna take what? Boom. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, whether I deserved it or not, you know what I'm saying? Love that. I love my brothers. I love that niggas. Not no more than anybody of my other brothers, but like they always been there for me.
Yeah, that's real. It's hard to find people like that though. So,
I mean, other people got different. They had different perceptions or different whatever. Me and brothers always made sure I was good one way or the other.
yeah.
just didn't participate or didn't come around. But nobody responsible for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Make my own decisions in my own way. But I always, as far as this shit, I always had their support before the W.
Yo,
So
what's like the biggest thing? Well, not the biggest thing, but like the I won't say biggest lesson, but like the what's the biggest thing that stands out for you over the years? I mean, even though you were in and out of stuff, but like you grew up with these cats, like as far as Wu-Tang and stuff, and seeing the movement. What's like the biggest thing or the best thing that you've seen like that's come out of Wu-Tang? Like not artists or anything, but just the most positive thing aspect of just Wu-Tang and being a part of it.
okay, the most positive thing I could say I got out of it, or to answer your question, right, is that yo, Wu-Tang, the W, the brand is worldwide, right? Never in my life did I imagine this that what brothers had started would go this far. But the fact that people actually listen to the music, listen to the lyrics, that the fact that the music that brothers put out and how they move actually changed people's way of thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was even if it was, yo, y'all heard such and such. I heard Liquor Swords or I heard Cuban Links or whatever, and they said something about this person. Let me look this up. And they got them to study in their own history or whatever, whatever. Right? I'm like, the fact that this what came up from where I came up from has changed and altered so many people's lives on a level that who could have ever imagined this,
Right.
right?
Wow.
And, and that it came from a bunch of brothers that went through horrendous shit individually growing up as youth and all of that, right? All of us came from some type of trauma or whatever, whatever. And to see all my brothers, you know what I'm saying, like all together at one time, like use that as fuel and inspiration to succeed in life and do things. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's inspirational even for me because I don't look at myself no differently than them or Ray or whatever when it comes to whatever. But but that's because they my brothers and we always, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the reality is, yo, brothers is doing this, they doing that, whatever, whatever. And I mean, where it really count in the heart.
Yeah. That's
It's,
real shit.
I'm saying, Meth don't look at me as no less a person because I'm not somewhere where he's at or where they're at. Because I'm still me,
Right.
consistent. I'm not a switch up. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm always me. So I'm always going to be around in one form or fashion.
Right. Right.
I'm doing it with it. So, you know, yeah, I'm getting it together.
Yeah. No, that's dope.
I got a banging ass record for the summer. You know,
Work. All
when
right.
called Hello Summer. I got a banging ass record.
All right. All right. I'm here. I'm here for it.
Yeah, but I'm gonna stay in tune with you even more because certain shit before I let it go, I'm gonna send it to you so you know what I'm saying? Because I know you know all the DJs, I know you know all the people that
Word, man. Say less. Now I'm about to be on you.
I know you got the company too. You got the
Got the little trying to do the marketing thing. Yeah, you be peeping. You be in the background. Yeah, I feel you.
listen, I've been a robber. I stay in the shadows, so I watch it. Even though this Instagram and shit, or tell you who's stalking you and all that. Nah, I move in between the raindrops, so I don't even get caught up in them algorithms. But I watch what's going on and I get up out of there.
Say in between the raindrops. Word. Listen, before we do get out of here, though, I wanted to do it at the top of the show, but I wanted to say rest in peace to Power. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. That's another person I knew over 40 years. Like, yo, like, the ironic shit is I met the majority of the people that made up the Wu-Tang Clan in the same day.
Oh,
I
word.
met them all at the same time because you know, not RZA and Ghost, but Ray, Deck, Dapper. I met them all at the same time playing in the park.
Wow.
Because brothers grew up together. We grew up playing with each other and all that. You know what I'm saying? Kids, like, and they knew each other way before me. I met these brothers when we was 10. You know what I'm saying? Like Kappa knew you girl when they was 5 years old. Like, you know, like that type of like, come on.
Yeah, it's
That,
real.
it go that deep, like, you know what I mean? It go
Yeah,
that
that's deep as hell. So yeah, rest in peace to Power. Big influence there. And
all of
yeah,
us.
man, we gotta get ready to go because I got another show in a few minutes. But
Yeah, but it's always a pleasure, you know. Hit my line, whatever you need, any questions answered, whatever, you know. When it comes to the Wu-Tang trivia, you know what I'm saying? I'm that guy. But anyway,
I appreciate you, brother. I really do for coming through. I'm gonna get this up on the YouTube. I mean, on the YouTube, we'll edit it up and clips and everything. Yeah, stay in touch about the new joints, bro. You know what I'm saying?
you ain't got to worry, bro. I'm gonna holler. You're gonna be one of the first people I holler at.
Well, man, this has been episode 172, the Carrying the Culture Show. Carlton Fisk, PLO, Wu-Tang. Appreciate you, family. We'll talk soon.
Absolutely.
All right, y'all. Peace, everybody.